Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, the number one place for people who love design, art and everything creative. You are watching DMB's channel. My name is Laszlo and I do graphic design and illustration, and video editing, and social media management, and art direction, and brand design, typography,
content creation, apparel design, UX design, motion graphics, icon design.
I feel like the creative industry is getting overcrowded with all these job titles, little labels that people are forcing themselves in. And with the industry developing into new, uncharted territories, there has never been a more confusing and frustrating time to become a designer. This is the first point I want to address in this video. What do graphic designs actually do these days? Is graphic design still relevant in 2020? Where can a design degree take you? And what to expect if you want to pursue graphic design as a career? Once we have talked about all that stuff, I also want to address a very important issue. Lately, given the economic circumstances we are all facing on a global scale, the creative arts and its prospective jobs have got some serious bad rep. With this video, I want to counter-argue these negative points of view and hopefully inspire some of you guys who may be wanting to join the creative fields and feeling a little let down, a little hopeless given the current state of the world. Because I do believe there is a light at the end of this tunnel. So before you give up on your dreams of becoming an illustrator, a graphic designer, an artist of any kind, let's jump into this topic together and explore. First things first, what do graphic designers do in 2020? I've been making these YouTube videos for about 6 months or so now, and each and every one of them starts by me saying that I do graphic design and illustration. I do illustration and graphic design and illustration, illustrator and graphic designer, illustration and graphic design and illustration. But do I really? Well, yes and no. I say I am a graphic designer because I believe that this is a universally understood umbrella term that people are familiar with. It gives people outside of the industry a reasonably clear idea about what they can hire me for. But if you are in the creative field, you need to know that what graphic design really means in 2020 is effectively designing for print, business cards, flyers, letterheads, that sort of thing. Now, the reason why it feels like graphic design has somewhat lost its touch is because our world has moved far, far beyond this idea of printing things out for the physical world to see. Sure, it's still around, but in a world dominated by social media and the internet in general, digital channels are having a considerably bigger slice of the design pie, which is why you see the job role graphic designer less and less out there in the real world. These days there are many different design roles out there, and I thought the simplest way to give you a rough idea on how they work was this. Let's draw up a timeline of a creative project. Let's say that this is our big, collaborative creative effort. Let's say it's a creation of a very complex, highly customized interactive website for some huge client. Let's divide the creative process into 4 different stages. You got the planning stage, then you got some static assets that need designing, then some more complicated dynamic assets, and then finalizing the project. In stage 1 you would find people like UX designers, UX researchers, whose job is to find out what users will want to see on this website, and what is the best way to make things work. It's about user testing, wireframing, planning. So if you are the kind of person who does not want to stick to the craftsy details and you're more interested in the bigger picture, as in why are we doing this website in the first place, how will this make people feel, how it's gonna be usable, how can it be the most helpful for them, then these are the job roles that you could be gravitating towards. Then once we have a solid plan, stage 2 can begin, which is actually making design assets out of nothing. This is the stage where I would place illustrators, artworkers, photographers, icon designers. This is my favorite stage, coming from an illustration background. This is where we start digging for gold and build a library of stuff that can be further developed later on by the people of stage 3. Now let's say stage 3 designers are the ones who take the assets created by the guys at stage 2 and develop them further, like make animations out of the static images or build the interactions between static elements, that kind of thing. Then there is stage 4, which is not really design, but some designers do like to get involved here, which is development. So actually building the website using all the plans, the materials, the animations, videos, text, and bring all of these elements over one roof. I can already feel people hate this analogy. Obviously, this is not a blueprint of how every design project works. There are some serious overlaps between some of these design roles, and I did miss quite a few very important steps as well. But do you see the potential job diversity you have within the field of design? My point is this: what you need to find out as an aspiring designer is which stage, which bracket do you feel the most comfortable working in out of these stages? When are you at your happiest? Do you like the freedom of an empty canvas and make something out of nothing, like logos and illustrations and custom icons? Or do you enjoy the further polishing stages, developing half-done assets further, like color grading a video or designing user interfaces? Once you have clear goals and clear interests within this new digital design age, you will feel a bit more comfortable and hopefully more assured about your future prospects as a designer. I'll tell you what the real problem is here. I briefly touched on this in my previous video when we were talking about automation and mobile apps. But now we have time to dig deeper, so let's dig a bit deeper. Information technology, IT, is developing at a much faster rate than us humans do, the people who are actually using technology. It takes years and years of studying to master a very highly complex tool like Adobe After Effects. And by the time you're starting to feel confident using this platform, something new can come in that makes your software knowledge obsolete. We as humans just can't keep up with technology, and it's becoming more and more obvious as time goes on. I mean, here in the UK, we have over 300 university courses that are teaching old school graphic design. Do you want to know how many are there in UX design? 15. And over half of them are master's degrees. And this ratio is pretty much turned upside down when you look at how many firms are looking at digital designers as opposed to graphic designers. This endless rat race of trying to keep up with technology is the main reason why people think graphic design is dead. That's why design students around the world are feeling uncertain about their future career prospects. To make things even worse, the industry seemingly blatantly ignores this imbalance between technology and the people behind it, which results in ridiculously high expectations on what is expected from a junior designer, for example. Every company out there wants someone who has 5+ years experience using Adobe XD. Never mind that Adobe XD hasn't even existed 5 years ago. Recognize that these new job roles like UX design and product design are having their moment. They are the top tier roles at the design landscape right now. But what you need to know is oftentimes the way to get into those jobs is through old school graphic design, by building on the stable graphic design foundations that you would learn in one of those old school courses. Color theory, shape language, font layouts, all that library of essential knowledge that you have in your brain. I also totally get that you might not be interested in one of these new directions and you would much rather create graphics and illustrations, the raw assets. The thing is, those pieces will always be needed. And while yes, there is a fear of automation in this area, good design will always stand out. These template-based design solutions out there can only do so much, and clients usually only rely them as a temporary solution because they're either trying to save money or they feel like they can do the design work themselves. But oftentimes that results in so-so design executions. If there's anything I want you to take away from this video is this. Graphic design is one of those trades which has existed in one form or another since the beginning of humankind. I truly believe that in a way it's actually far superior to any other form of communication. Graphic design, when it's done to a high standard, has the power to bridge the barriers set by gender, language, age. It has the power to speak to anyone and everyone. It literally surrounds us on a day-to-day basis. I mean, show me any human-made object that hasn't been designed. As they say, graphic design is a language that everyone understands, but only a selected few speak very well. So if you are good at it, don't you worry about your future prospects. Visual communication skills will always be needed. Okay? Okay. I hope this video helped and answered the questions that you might have. But if I missed something and you want to have a chat, feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, because by doing that you really do support our channel and we appreciate that a great deal. Feel free to join our little design tribe if you're interested in this sort of content. We make videos about interiors, architecture, illustration, branding, graphic design, all that good stuff. Take care guys, and I'll see you this time next week with another video. Bye!